questions to come in. Coach Stoops, you'll give us a review of this week's practice.
Sure. It's been a good week of practice. I think players, coaches, everybody in the program was not very pleased with the outcome this past week and the way we played and our preparation and the whole 9 yards. So much better this week, and hopefully it'll translate to the way we play on Saturday. So need to have a great day. It's been a good week so far, and we'll put the finishing touches on it tomorrow.
All right, first question today will come from Jon Hale.
Hey, Mark, was Terry able to practice any this week, and just kind of where things stand with the quarterback situation?
John, he's out. He has not been able to practice. He has a wrist injury that's not very comfortable, obviously, for a quarterback. The type of injury that he has, it's not very helpful for him as far as practicing and being able to the ability to handle the ball, hold the ball, throw it properly. So he will be out this week.
All right, next is Josh Moore.
Hey, Mark, just a clarification on that injury. Was that something that suffered? Did that play into the decision to put Joey in there at the end of the game, that it happened kind of?
Well, he did hurt it during the game. He was able to play through it. It's one of those injuries that, you'd be surprised. We have quite a few guys that come in on Sunday and they really have no idea when or how they were hurt, but they, as you can imagine, there's quite a few bumps and bruises, and guys are getting beat up. And so, that was the case with Terry. He did injure it during the game. I'm not sure exactly when. I'm not sure he knows exactly when. But it was swollen and not good all week.
All right, Derek Terry.
Mark, is this the kind of game where, you want it to be Joey's game, or is there a chance he'll use Bo as well?
Don't know. As I, said, the past couple weeks, when Terry was the starter and this week Joey's the starter and he has the keys, he's the starting quarterback, but you never know how things are going to go throughout the game and when opportunities are going to present themselves. I anticipate Joey going out there and playing well. I've wanted to see Bo all year, but as you can imagine, it's very difficult. Every possession, every rep, every time we have the ball, it's pretty important. Obviously getting Terry reps early in the season and all the reps he can. With being out last year, we needed that. Joey needs the reps, and now at some point I'd like to see Bo get in there, but I'm not sure when that'll happen.
Mark, from what you've seen of Joey so far, what do you feel like he brings to the offense?
Oh, he's definitely a big, strong guy. He's got a big arm and can make all the throws. He stands strong in the pocket. You never know, I think, with that position until you get put in that situation is how their vision and how they're going to go through their progressions and step up in the pocket and distribute the football down the field. From what I've seen from him so far, I believe that he'll do that. And, so he brings a lot of ability and a big arm. Obviously, he could run the ball. He's a different style than Terry. Terry is maybe a little faster top end and, quicker, but Joey's one of those big, strong runners and can get some good yards for you that way. So looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Josh Moore.
Eddie on Tuesday talked about the kind of maybe having to simplify things just for the sake of, if they can't make the reads through practice or whatever, and seeing, just to basically make things move, easier for you guys. Is that the case? Do you think that'll be the case this week, or?
Well, we're not going to drastically change. I don't think the reads that we had in place were overly complicated. I know Joey can do it. I think it's more rather a situation of how many reps they have in with certain calls and with certain routes and concepts, with banked reps, whether it be obviously not too many in games, but he has some practice reps and what he's most comfortable at, so progression wise, I feel comfortable, I don't feel like we're overly complicated. I know he can handle it, but maybe just what he's most comfortable with, what concepts he's comfortable with.
John Wong.
Mark, I know a lot goes into these personnel decisions, but generally speaking, what is your philosophy regarding striking the right balance between rewarding an experienced player with your loyalty versus maybe looking toward the future and going with somebody up and coming who may have a higher ceiling?
Yeah, that's a great question, John. And, it's a valid point. I think there's always a balance there, and that all coaches are looking for the right answer. I could tell you this, all the decisions that go into it is we're looking for whoever gives us the best chance to win the games. And obviously you need depth, certain positions that you may be talking about, whether it be, running back or receiver, guys that are running a bunch. I mean, you're going to need to rotate guys in there. So you need to have quality depth. You need to have guys you feel like you can win big games with 2 or 3 guys, depending on the position. So, anytime there's a significant drop off, that's going to be a liability for us because we're trying to win the game. So I would never sacrifice that for the future if I thought it could cost us a game. I'm going to play the guys that give us the best opportunity to be successful. Again, there is a balance there as well, because to move the program forward, you're trying to get guys reps, you're trying to get them in there as much as they can, and they have to earn that trust through the week. And so I think that's a complex question, very good question, but there's different levels of it. There's guys that are playing quite often, and then there's guys like the freshmen that we're trying to bring along, but they're not quite ready. Does that make sense, John? Does that answer it?
Well, I had him
Yeah.
muted. Sorry about that. Okay, next question is Gabriel. Wait, Dave.
Mark, you were saying earlier, I guess it was last week, that you were having a little more of a challenge to read this team. And I'm wondering what it was like this week for these guys emotionally after what happened last Saturday. What did you see in them this week? You said they've been practicing well, but in terms of their spirit, for lack of a better term. And as a follow, who exactly is William Tarr?
I have great confidence in this group that will respond. I think every team is different. I think it's up to you as, me as the head coach. It's up to your staff to reach each individual player, that they perform the best of their ability. Teams are different. Teams are different every year. Their personalities are different. There's obviously new people involved in the team and in the program, and it's our job to motivate them the best way we can. And again, I was disappointed in myself. I didn't feel like I had, it wasn't for the lack of effort. I can promise you that, of getting guys ready, but each team is different, but I feel like we've responded well. I still feel very strong in the leadership of this group, and I know we'll get out there and play and compete the way we're used to. And, I'm confident we will do that. And the guys are going to play extremely hard and be energetic and excited to play. So that's good. And William Tarr, that's a new release bourbon there, Dick. That's pretty good stuff.
Who is he?
Yeah.
Who is the guy?
Oh, he's deceased. William Tarr was one of the original owners of Ashland Distillery, which was the first registered distillery in the state of Kentucky. So it's a revival of that brand. But I don't know how we're getting on that subject.
All right, we got time for 2 more. Last 2 are going to be Josh Moore and Jeff Drummond. Josh Moore, you're first.
Mark Drennan, I know he's higher up on the depth chart this week, and he showed up as a guy that, he was compared to Lynn Bowden, and I know that's a lot to put on a guy, but has he shown kind of flashes of that kind of, being able to be kind of a weapon in a lot of spots for you guys?
Oh, Michael, we definitely feel like has a lot of upside, a lot of talent, and, gives you some speed and some of that, elusiveness that you're looking for when he gets the ball in his hands. Mike's got to continue to work. I think he is working hard, and you got to work on his hands and being consistent with catching the football in practice and in games, and running routes properly and assignments, and he's doing all those things, and we're bringing him along. But he definitely has a lot of upside, and we need him to continue to work.
All right, and our last question will be from Jeff Drummond.
Hey, Mark. Marquand told us yesterday that he sensed there's a little different, the attitude or mindset in the locker room coming off that loss and into this week, that it's a lot more serious-minded and maybe a less joking around and stuff like that. Have you been able to perceive any change in kind of the players' way
I hope so. If our group was satisfied with the way we played a week ago, then we're not going to win very many games. So I hope there's a change and an adjustment. It's little things, and I think it's just them making a conscious effort to invest more. And it's hard. Believe me, these guys get beat up. They have a lot on their plate, and it's a grueling schedule. But they have to sacrifice. They have to get sleep. They have to take care of their bodies. They have to get treatment and go to school and get in here and have good practices. And they've done that. So I appreciate the way they've responded, and hopefully that'll translate over to the game.
Okay, folks, thanks to all of you. Thanks to all y'all for
Thank
joining
you.
us.